Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, and a very, very happy Sunday to all of you. And I hope you're waking up today. I hope you're going through the day, ending the weekend here with a smile on your face, because yesterday it was a really good game and a really good performance there, backing up what we saw against Athletic, because that's what we've been saying. We want to see these kind of displays, but more importantly than that, we want to see them consistently. We want to see them game by game, week in, week out, and Barca really showing us they can provide that quality. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at how it all happened against Granada. So, without further ado, let's get to it. And indeed, the first individual that I do want to shout out with some praise is Ronald Koeman, somebody who has come under criticism, and I think rightly so, over the past few weeks and months since he's been in charge of Barca. There have been highs, there have been big lows too, but I think over the past 2 weeks he's certainly got a lot of things right, and we've seen consistency not only from the players, but also Koeman in terms of his selection and indeed the shape of the team. And what I mean by that is this, because as you can see, against Athletic there, we spoke about the good shape of the team, we spoke about the nice balance that we had right throughout our attack and in midfield and indeed defence, and you look yesterday at the shape of the team and it's so similar. And it is absolutely no surprise to me that when the team are playing with a consistent shape, when the team are very much aware of their roles and where they should be on the field, quite clearly you're going to have more consistent performances if you are seeing the same shape, if you are seeing the same sort of profiles out there on the field. It was good against Athletic and it was even better against Granada, and that really is, from a coaching standpoint, really good and promising for Koeman to see those performances taking shape. And indeed, the first individual player that I do want to focus on is Antoine Griezmann. I've also got to give Griezmann a lot of credit because just like Koeman, he has also come under criticism, and also rightly so, over the past few weeks for his performances, but he's come back in here, and that's the thing that I really like about Griezmann. He can be dropped, he can be kept out of the team, and again, it may have been rightly so, but he comes back in and he's always got a good attitude. He doesn't go away and sulk, he isn't down with himself or the coach or angry. He comes back in, he works hard, and you can see over the past 2 games, he's looked really good, both in terms of creating and scoring goals, and that's why we signed him. That is why we have a player like Griezmann to do exactly that, and I think yesterday he combined, of course, well with Messi. That's good to see. We want to see him building on that, but what I want to focus on there is the combination with Ousmane Dembele. That was the combination there for that brilliant second goal from Griezmann. Little dink in by Dembele, good awareness there to see Griezmann, and a fantastic finish, and I do want to see that relationship between those two develop further. They haven't had a lot of time together because of injury, because of form, different things like that. They've not actually spent that much time in a Barca shirt out on the field together, but I think Dembele and Griezmann, as time goes on, they will certainly grow and grow in their relationship and their partnership, which is good for the team. But of course, we also have to talk about the main man, and the man who has been absolutely sensational to start this year. It's Lionel Messi. Because I think we'll all admit that 2020, it was a tough year for Barca, it was a tough year for all of us, but it was especially tough for Lionel Messi, especially on a personal level there with everything that went on over the summer and continued there to linger over him for the start of the season. And I think, to be honest, he will have been glad to put that year behind him. He would have been glad there to move on and ultimately try and create something new here in 2021. And I also have to say, after he's received, of course, a few extra days break over the Christmas period, he was given it off there by Ronald Koeman. That was a really good decision by Koeman, I feel, to give Messi a bit of time, gain a bit of trust in what he did there, and Messi has come back and he's repaid him. He really has. Messi has started here the new year in the perfect way. 2 games, 2 wins for Barca, and 4 goals, and brilliant goals they have been for Messi, which has seen him there swiftly return as if nothing happened to the top of the La Liga goal scoring charts. That is where Messi belongs, and I want to focus as well on that second goal yesterday. The first goal was an absolutely brilliant finish, but I want to talk here about that free kick strike, because not only was it a brilliant goal, not only was it absolutely fantastic there that they lined the man up behind the wall, they led the person down, they thought they were covering every base, and Messi said, you know what, no, I'm going to put it over there instead. What a strike that was. But it was also a very significant goal when it comes to the history books, because with that goal yesterday from the free kick, Leo Messi moved ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo in the goal-scoring charts for free kick goals at club level. That goal there took Messi to 48 free kick goals for Barca, surpassing Ronaldo's 47 at club level. And now he's off the mark for free kicks this season. I would expect more, definitely, to follow. Another player for me who does deserve some special credit for a number of reasons, to be honest, it is Samuel Umtiti, because again, the theme is very much there. He's somebody that over the past few seasons, there's been such frustrating times, and I'm not saying here that's come to an end. I'm not saying now everything is perfect and Umtiti is back to normal, because he needs to be playing a lot more football and regularly to be back to anywhere near the standards that he'd set before. But I think yesterday, you've got to say, Umtiti did well. He was really, really strong. He was physical. He looked good. Alongside Mingueza, we always know about his prowess on the ball and how he can help us there playing out of the back. And also, you got to say, he didn't make any mistakes. And that is what we want from our defenders. Don't make mistakes, don't make slip-ups, and be very calm and composed on the ball. But I also want to give him credit, the psychological factor, because also, you have to think about the way that he stepped into the team when we really, really needed him. Because before the game, he will have known in his own mind that Mingueza was the man who was trusted over him. He was the man who was actually brought in for the suspended Longley, and Umtiti was going to be on the bench. That would have been a blow to Samuel Umtiti. But after Araujo got injured, of course, in the warm-up, just a few minutes before the game was due to start, Umtiti was thrust into the action. And I think there he showed a lot of focus, he dealt well physically, he did well mentally, and I think that's exactly what he needs to be showing Ronald Koeman whenever he gets a chance. And especially now when you consider that Araujo may miss a few games there with the injury, the muscle injury that he picked up, Umtiti will be hoping for further chances. And I really do hope here that he can stay fit and keep growing in this team. Up next, it is time to talk about a man who, to be honest, I could have spoken about game in, game out. Over the past few games, Frenkie de Jong has been absolutely sensational. Because again, he was somebody who endured quite a difficult period, I think, back in December. He even received, of course, a few transfer links away from the club. And there was doubts over the future of de Jong and what he could bring to this team. And that's the thing. I wouldn't just say here he's bounced back from that, but I would actually say he's bounced back stronger and better than I've ever seen him in a Barca shirt. Because not only in this game, like I say, but we're talking over the last 4-5 games now, we have been seeing a player who's dominated midfield. Doesn't matter what area you want to look at it, doesn't matter what stat you want to focus on, de Jong has absolutely dominated. He has been so destructive. He's somebody there who can beat his man. We saw him in yesterday's game go on a brilliant individual run, nearly ended in a goal. He's been breaking the lines, he's been adding something completely different there from midfield, running in behind, getting into the box, and ultimately as well, scoring some big goals. This right here, this is the man we signed from Ajax. This was the player that we were so excited about joining because he has everything in his locker. We want him to keep performing like this because when he does, doesn't matter who you're playing against, doesn't matter who he comes up against, you don't stop this man. De Jong, at this level, is unplayable. But I also have a word for his partner in midfield too, and it continues the running theme here of somebody in Sergio Busquets who has endured a lot of criticism this season and also last season, of course, and you would say that some of it indeed has been warranted. Busquets at times has not been at the level that we hoped that he would be, but that's also not to say that when he does well, we shouldn't give praise when quite clearly he's put in a great performance, and I think that was the case yesterday, and I've got to be honest, I'm really happy here that on his 600th appearance in a Barca shirt, which is a stunning landmark for any player to reach that amount of games in a Barca shirt. It's an incredible achievement. Busquets was excellent. He rolled back the years in yesterday's display. Just to throw some stats out there, he completed yesterday the most passes of any other player. He created the most chances of any other player. He was the most foul player on the field, and he also won the most duels. And I think there he can still be effective in the right area. I'm not going to say that he's going to do this every single game, because maybe in different games he wouldn't be given as much space, as much time. He may be targeted more by the opposition. But in games like yesterday, where he's got time on the ball, where his passing is crisp, where he's alert, he hasn't lost his football brain. He hasn't lost all of that ability that we've known Busquets to have for so many years. And yesterday, like I say, he deserves great credit for what was a great performance. Finally though, I do have to talk about none other than Riqui Puig, and that is somebody who I do particularly want to focus on here, as he of course came on for the final 18 minutes of yesterday's game. It was the most minutes that he'd received in the league under Koeman in his entire time being here, and I think even before he touched the ball yesterday, the smile on his face as he came on, that captured all of us. That really does define why we're determined for him to be a success in a Barca shirt, because we want players going going out there who love this club. We want players going out there who you can clearly see he's savouring every second of it. He loves going out there and playing for this club, and that is what we want in any player, not only young, but any player for the club. After the game, though, I want to point out here that Ronald Koeman was quite prickly. He was quite frustrated when he was asked a question about Riqui Puig, about the fact that he came on, about the fact that maybe we could see more of him now after that kind of performance. Koeman said, "It's as if I have something against Riqui." He said that's not the case. He said, for instance, the other day, I spoke about young players needing game time, and it was reported that I was only talking about Riqui. He said, but there are other young players who don't play. So the Conrad, Matthias, Jr. He said, you always talk about Riqui, and that's not good for me, or it's not good for him either. He said, if I think something about Riqui, then I'll talk with him. We talk very, very often. He said, it always depends on the player, and I'm talking in general here, not just about Riqui. And I do just feel like, guys, right now, that's the one thing that is really separating us fans from Ronald Koeman, because obviously we understand that Koeman has a difficult job as a Barca coach. I think we would make certain allowances for certain things that have gone on during his reign so far, but this Riqui Puig issue, that's holding him back. He has to drop whatever he has against this kid, because you could see again yesterday, Puig came on for those final 18 minutes, and he was brilliant. Every single time this kid comes on, he shows that quality. He gets on the ball, he brings energy, he takes risks, he dribbles himself out of impossible situations, and you look at the ball that he played in behind there to Martin Braithwaite. Stunning pass it was across field that drew the red card for Granada, and I think Koeman now has to be seeing that. He has to give him more time, and I think we'll all benefit from that. Koeman will probably receive a lot more love as a Barcelona coach. He would get away with a lot more than he currently would if he can play, and if he can drop whatever it is that he has against Puig. He says there's nothing there. Prove it then. Let's see Riqui play a lot more minutes, because this kid has quality. This boy is so talented. And so that does indeed, guys, wrap up my thoughts after another good performance from Barcelona that was, of course, aided as well by the fact that after our game, Real Madrid dropped points again, this time against Osasuna, which means that right now there is just 3 points separating us from Real Madrid, with Atletico, though, still standing firm at the top of the league. We're by no means there yet. There's plenty of ground still to make up, and the Spanish Super Cup is going to be coming next week with Real Sociedad, our opponents. I will see you then, guys, for all of that build-up to come. I hope you're enjoying this win, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will catch you soon. Thank you for your support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.